I got out of this verse is God always has a plan for us, and even if your life isn't looking like he has a plan for you, God works in mysterious ways. Hey guys, so I recently saw the Glow House girls trying these Anua toner pads, so I thought that I should try them for myself. They help with acne marks, so I'm gonna try them out because I definitely need some help. These are the Anua pink toner pads.
PaulTooReal really thought he could just flip the switch, turn his comments back on, and act like nothing happened. Like, come on. The internet has a memory longer than your career. The second he came back posting like business as usual, fans went straight into those comments and dragged him back to reality. And this is where it gets really bad, because fans aren't just leaving shady jokes, they're pulling out old screenshots, disturbing DMs, and receipts that make Paul look worse than ever. We're talking about messages where he's replying, of course, to a 13-year-old, saying low-key yes to a 21-year-old asking if he'd still be with her, and leaked chats where he is begging people to delete proof because, in his own words, it makes me look bad. So instead of making a comeback, Paul just reminded everybody why he got canceled in the first place. And now the spiral is back on full display. After weeks of hiding with his comments turned off, Paul suddenly popped back up like nothing ever went down. New posts, fresh vids, the whole I'm back energy, but not a single word about the mess that had him running in the first place.
My friend here, Justin, he's already taken, and he's cracked at Fortnite, my guy.
And fans caught on immediately, because if you think people forgot about the parties, the leaked clips, and the way that he was already being called out by girls left and right, you're delusional. The second he tried to sneak back, the internet turned his comment section into a courtroom. One person actually tried to defend him, writing, something he did in the past doesn't define who he is. Everybody makes a mistake they regret. It's normal. Anyway, just treat others the right way. And right underneath, someone snapped back with, in the past, and it was 2 months ago. Like, case closed. You can't call that ancient history when it just happened this summer. And it didn't stop there. People were roasting him in every direction, even nicknaming him Corn Paul. Now, as y'all have seen, instead of welcome back, he got wall-to-wall comments dragging him, clowning him, and reposting every single thing he's tried to bury. Paul wanted to come back, but all he got was a highlight reel of his own scandals. Not gonna lie, the move felt desperate. Like, when you vanish during backlash and then reappear acting brand new, it doesn't scream confidence, it screams damage control. And clearly, the fans weren't buying it. Now, the most damning thing fans brought back up to Paul were Paul's own replies. And honestly, there's just no spinning this. One of the biggest screenshots making the rounds shows a comment where someone literally says, Paul, I'm 13. Is that okay? And his response, of course. Like, what? How do you even type that out and think it's fine to hit send? This isn't some random joke pulled out of context. It's him typing that reply in his own comment section for everyone to see. And that's why people aren't just calling it drama anymore. The wild part, fans are past the point of arguing it. They are literally reposting the screenshot under every single video he drops just to make sure he can't run from it. Not gonna lie, if this is what surfaces the second you re-enable your comments, you should probably rethink your comeback strategy. And that is just one screenshot. Fans have way more receipts lined up, and each one is worse than the last. As if the 13-year-old reply wasn't already bad enough, fans pulled out another screenshot that had people side-eyeing him even harder. This time, someone commented, I'm 21. Would you still be with me? And Paul's response, low-key, yes. Now, here's where it gets messy. Some people are saying it looks so edited, while others swear it's real. But honestly, at this point, does it even matter? Because when you've already been caught in one disturbing reply, people will believe anything else tied to your name. And that's the bigger issue. Even if this particular screenshot somehow wasn't real, Paul already destroyed his own credibility. He's been called out so much that fans don't give him the benefit of the doubt anymore. They see his name next to something sus and it automatically clicks as believable. Not gonna lie, if that wasn't enough to bury him, fans weren't done, because the DMs that started circulating, yeah, those made everything look a whole lot worse. One screenshot shows him asking for dirty talk and pics, then panicking after and begging the girl to delete the messages because, in his own words, it makes him look bad. Like, that line alone tells you everything. If your first instinct isn't, this is wrong, but delete this before people find out, you're already admitting guilt without even realizing it. One fan even called it out, writing, "Paul turned back on his comments, but he always deletes the ones reposting the snaps of what his friend he always collabs with sent to the girl that exposed him. Threats!" And that's the thing, deleting comments isn't damage control. It's shady. Taking them down doesn't erase what happened, it just makes him look more guilty. If he really had nothing to hide, he would leave them up and address it. But when you're scrubbing your own comment section, it tells everyone you'd rather bury the truth than face it. At this point, his whole page looks less like a comeback and more like a highlight reel of his worst moments. And once fans take over your comment section like that, there is no bouncing back. Now, after the DMs leaked, Paul had one move left: deflection. And he's been running that play non-stop. First it was, those accounts are fake. And then suddenly it was AI. Now he's calling it cyberbullying and acting like he's the victim of some massive takedown. The problem is, every excuse contradicts the last. You can't say it's AI one second and then claim people are twisting your jokes the next.
Hi guys. So there's recently been a video going around the internet and it looks like me, but it's not. And they used the use of AI.
What makes it worse is how he handled the backlash. When things first blew up, he didn't defend himself head on, he disappeared. Weeks went by with his comments off, no addressing anything, just silence. Then out of nowhere, he turns the comments back on and starts posting like nothing happened. That doesn't look like someone clearing their name. It looks like someone hoping people just moved on. And fans caught it immediately.
In an attempt to stop everyone from hating on him, PaulTooReal has officially turned off all of the comments on all of his videos here on TikTok. I'm not kidding, if you go to PaulTooReal's official TikTok account and try to comment on one of his videos, it literally will not let you. Unless you are actually friends or followed by PaulTooReal here on TikTok. As you can see, this is the comment section of one of his recent videos, and it's everyone just being super nice to him.
Instead of focusing on his comeback content, every single reply was screenshots, old clips, and people clowning his excuses. And take it from me, you guys, if he really believed none of this was real, he would confront it directly. He would show receipts of his own, take accountability for what's true, and shut down what isn't. And in case some of y'all don't know, people aren't dragging Paul just because of some random screenshots. They're dragging him because we've already seen this movie. I mean, people still remember those party stories. Underage kids like Zuza getting dragged into sketchy situations, dudes in hoodies handing out pills like it was candy, Paul blacking out and needing help and then waking up swinging on people and yelling slurs. That wasn't one messy night. That was multiple people telling the same story over and over again. And then you've got the girls calling him out for being way too handsy, touching thighs, arms, shoulders, all while their boyfriends were right there. Like, what are you even doing? And add that to his whole relationship with God posts, acting wholly on the timeline while behind the scenes he's partying and hooking up. Yeah, fans saw straight through that hypocrisy.
Guys were there, and Paul was touching a lot of girls, like on their thighs, touching their arms, their shoulders, all of that, just touching a lot of girls. And everybody there was single, except for me. So at first I didn't really think that much of it until he touched me. And he knew I had a boyfriend too, and my boyfriend was right there. He touched my thigh, I like kind of swiped his hand away, and then the rest of the night I kind of avoided him because fucking weirdo. But yeah, all that went down, and that same night he made out with this girl. I'm sure you guys have seen some pictures of them together. Yeah, they made out that night. I've seen some rumors that they had sex. As far as I know, that's not true. I don't think that's true. I really don't think that's true, but yeah.
So when he shows up acting brand new, posting skits like nothing happened, nobody's buying it. Every single video he drops is just a reminder of the chaos that came before. Fans don't see Paul's back, they see the same guy who got called out for parties, slurs, and creeping on girls. That's why people aren't letting it go, because once you stack that much baggage, every comeback looks fake. And honestly, the way things are going, each post he makes is just digging the hole deeper. So now Paul's sitting in the middle of the storm he created. He tried to come back like nothing happened, but the receipts are louder than his content. Every new post is just another stage for fans to drop screenshots, rehash the party stories, and drag him all over again. What makes this spiral even uglier is how fast it's snowballing. First it was whispers, then TikToks, now entire comment sections are curated libraries of his worst moments. And it's not slowing down. People are hinting that more screenshots exist, more stories haven't even been shared yet, and fans are just waiting for the right moment to drop them. Paul thought he was rebuilding a platform, but what he's really doing is fueling his own cancellation in real time. And if this is what people are willing to post publicly, imagine what else is sitting in private group chats, saved in phones, and ready to surface next.